Hi, sunshines. How art thou? How art thou? It's Creative Stitch and Diva and Nancy Ricci. How
Hi,
are you, Nancy?
everybody. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for
Oh,
having me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it.
of course. It's just the what? We was speaking for like 8 minutes and
Yes.
already it was getting deep. So I already
Yes. We
know
were like,
this is gonna be such a informative podcast. And I'm excited because the reason why I did this podcast is to help other fiber artists come out of their shell and just
yes,
do what you love to do, period. So Nancy
yes.
went straight into it. Before I could even say anything, she went straight into it. So before we even go through all of that and talk to Nancy behind the scenes, I just want to say, anyone in the east, just be very careful out there because this storm is coming,
Yes.
and I just
It's
want
coming.
all good juju to come around because I don't like snow, but it's a reason why we have snow, and there's a reason why we're in here watching this while the snow come down. You got your snacks, so just sit back, relax, and let it be diva time. All right, so Nancy,
Yes.
how are you? What do you do?
I'm doing well, as best as I can during this pandemic. I'm healthy. I'm still alive, so I'm doing well. What do I do? I do everything. I do everything that has to do with yarn. So I started out as a knitter, and I knitted and crochet. I learned how to knit and crochet at the same time. And I started out as a knitter, and I was like, I'm a knitter. And then I started to crochet, and then I was like, I'm a crocheter. And then I started to weave. Then I started to weave, and I was like, wait, am I a weaver now? And then I started to spin, and then I'm like, what am I? And I was like, it's the yarn. It's all everything that has to do with yarn, that I am attracted to that, and the arts with yarn, whether it be crochet or knitting or weaving or spinning, I'm all for it. I'm there for it.
Yeah, fiber artist.
Yes,
That's
fiber
exactly what
artist.
you are. A fiber artist, a fiber designer, a fiber
Yes.
creator, a fiber genius. I saw so all right. I met Miss Nancy just now, but I feel like I know her because my Zoomies talk so much about her. So my Zoomies is a Saturday afternoon, bunch of us fiber artists that get around and we just talk. And it's just a seclusive group. I feel like I'm in the elite group. Like I'm just in a
Oh,
group, a
wow.
bunch of that's how I feel. I feel like I'm in that like classy clubhouse group. And we
Yes.
really talk about certain things and we're like there for each other. And I'm so excited to be a part of that, but your name came up a couple of times. I'm like, who is this? I don't know these people. Who is Nancy? Who is Nancy? And I believe Shanti sent me a video. She sent me the video of you
Mm-hmm.
and Yolanda. And that's what
Oh, yes,
became
yes,
my
yes.
relationship with you and Yolanda's video. And that's when I
Ah,
said,
yes.
okay, I started following you. Then I started looking at some of your videos and I'm like, I this lady is fun. You're fun. You,
Thank
you
you.
you're very creative. Even though I don't knit, your your work is beautiful and it makes me want to knit. But then I
Oh,
also
that's
like
great.
to look at the yarn. I like to look at the spinning now. And this is something I never
Yes.
wanted to do before. Ever. Ever. But you make it so much fun. Like what when did you start crocheting or crocheting and knitting? You said you did it at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. So I am not from the United States of America. I'm Dutch. I'm from the Netherlands. And
Okay.
everybody's like, you're Dutch, but
Yeah.
you don't look Dutch. And then they asked me, where were you born? I was born in South America, in a country called Suriname. And then everybody's looking at me like, you don't look South American. Everybody's still confused. But my ancestors are from Java, Indonesia. And then everybody is satisfied because it's Asian, right? So the Dutch, they colonized Java, Indonesia, and they colonized Suriname, South America. And my ancestors were brought to Suriname to work on the plantations, the sugarcane plantations. So I was born in Suriname, but I grew up in the Netherlands. And in my early 30s, I met this guy from the United States, and here I am. So I came here to the United States when did I come here? 2005. And I didn't have a work permit. I didn't have my green card. I didn't have my paper, so I couldn't do anything. And then just because I was bored, I started to knit. And I also started to crochet. And it was like when the yarn, when I found the yarn, or when the yarn found me, and I started to do this crafting, this fiber thing, it was for the first time that I understood something. I've studied business. I've studied history, ancient history, and I wanted to be like a good daughter and study hard. But everything that I did, I didn't understand it. And then when yarn entered into my life, suddenly I understood. I understood this thing, and I was like, where has this been all my life? Finally, I understand something. And I started to create from the get-go. I started to create. And it
Wow.
made me feel so good. It made me feel so good.
Aw. I didn't have that type of story, but my story was way different from that. But when you started, what made you do the social media? Like, was that something you always wanted to do, or just like it came accidentally?
Um, so I came to the United States. I didn't really know people, and I wanted to talk about yarn, and I wanted to talk about knitting, and I wanted to share what I was making. So I started to blog way back in 2007. I started to do this blogging thing, and I didn't think anybody would come and read my blog. And all of a sudden, all these people started to connect with me. And so that's how I started on social media, by blogging. And I started to put out patterns because um, the conversation I had with Yolanda, building your own table. I started to write patterns, and I didn't think that I would be accepted in magazines. And moreover, I didn't want to subject myself to the judgment of people of a magazine. I didn't want that. I was like, I'm making this thing. I love it, and I don't want somebody from a magazine telling me your work is not good. So we're not accepting your work. So I was like, I don't need those magazines. I don't need those magazines. I have a blog, and whenever and however much I want, I can put my pattern online, and anybody um, who will accept it, or who is interested, they can download my pattern and make it. But the main thing for me was, I don't want to be subjected to somebody's judgment. I don't want anybody to judge me. And I didn't want to put myself in a position. So I was like, I do things my way, and I do things the way I want it. And that was on the platform blogging. And then for a very long time, I didn't blog anymore, because I was working in a yarn shop called Nitty City in New York City, and I was very busy there. And then Ravelry was there already. And then Instagram came. And Instagram, I just did it. I just did Instagram, and I really enjoyed it. And I like taking pictures. I also like to explain things to people. And that was all possible with Instagram and with video. And so I just started to go full on Instagram, and I really started to connect with people, and I really enjoyed doing that.
Oh, so I used to do Ravelry. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I used to go on there like when I first started.
Ravelry. Yes.
Ravelry, okay.
Yeah.
When I first started crocheting, I used to always
Yes.
go in there. I don't go on too much anymore, but I still have an account on there. And I look at all the
Yeah.
patterns and I get so excited. Never have I ever thought of making a pattern. It was just something that
Mm-hmm.
was like in the all the way in the back. Like I wasn't even thinking of making patterns. I never even thought I would be even doing what I'm doing now. But when I spoke to some of my Zoomies, the first thing they say is that your patterns are so easy and a beginner can
Oh,
use
okay.
them, and that they're
Oh,
able
I'm.
to read them and use them. So I'm trying. I don't want to knit, but I want to knit. So if I ever wanted to knit, which one of your patterns you think is the first one a beginner can use?
So I have this pattern called Shelly Summer Top, and it's just two straight panels. It's just two straight panels, and it also looks like crochet, but you could easily crochet it. It's like a ripple pattern. Let me pull one out. I have them right here. Hold
Yeah,
on, I'll be right back.
yeah. I actually remember that one. I remember Shanti. I think you did it, right? Shanti did it, and yeah, and Kamara did it. That is the one that I
Yeah.
like.
So
I, I can't
yeah,
knit, so
it's
yes,
so
that's
you
the
see
one.
that
That's
ripple pattern.
my color. Oh
That's
wow!
it's just two panels. It's just
Is
two
it
panels,
Shelly?
just substituted with it's a Shelly summer top.
Okay.
It's a Shelly summer top, but just substituted with a crochet ripple pattern, and it's just two straight panels, and it will form around your body because of the ripple pattern. It will form around your body, and it's not intimidating at all. There's no shaping. It's just two straight up panels, and you seam
Oh
it at the shoulder and you seam it at the side. That's it. That's all it is, because I like
what?
the easy stuff. I like to do just panels and just easy stuff, no intricate stuff, because there's already so much intricate stuff out there, and I like to go for easy, easy with a great impact. It's like cooking. Sometimes you have a recipe that's very easy, right? And
Mm.
you get guests, and everybody is just impressed by your cooking, and you know that it's very simple. Same thing with my patterns. I like to do very simple things with a great impact. So yeah.
That is actually, I think I saw that a couple of months ago. Did you just make that pattern? Because I saw so many people a couple of months ago. It was just everywhere I turned, somebody was making.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did that. So this pattern I wrote 10 years ago. I wrote it 10 years ago, and I decided to bring it back to the foreground and to the forefront, and people just went for it. People went for it. But also I have to say, because let's go right into it, Shanna. um, when the whole discussion broke out about people of color
Mhm.
in 2 years ago, and all of a
Mhm.
sudden there was like at first I was like, I was just doing my thing, but all of a sudden boom, there was like big huge interest in what I was doing, and I was like, okay, I'll take it. So let me get something that I made 10 years ago. Let me bring it to the forefront. And
That.
you guys, this is what I made 10 years ago. But since the spotlight is on us now, here you go. So I ran with it. I ran with it. I ran with it. Definitely,
You
definitely.
just hit it right there because a lot of us was not getting any attention whatsoever.
No,
So again, you did that 10
we
years
weren't.
ago. I've been doing graph GAN since 2011, 12, and I'm
Yeah,
now
yes.
being told, oh, this is cool, this is good, this is new. No, it's not new.
No,
It's
right?
not
Yes. It's not new. You were already doing it. I was
new.
already doing it. We were already there. We were already doing our thing for so many
Mm-hmm.
years. We didn't just appear, or we're not just new to the scene. We were already doing our thing, but we weren't seen. And now
We
all of
were
a
not
sudden everybody's
out.
looking at you.
Exactly.
Yes,
Now
we were not
it's
out
more
there. We were.
okay. Yeah, it's more okay for us.
Yes.
Now, I know you
Right, right.
mentioned something about you putting your face out there that
Yes.
certain magazines you just see nothing but Caucasian women. And so you
Yes.
think if I want to put something out there, it will have to be on a Caucasian person. If I want to put
Yes.
my items out, it has
Mm-hmm.
to be on a Caucasian model instead of yourself. What made you decide to do it for yourself and put your face out there?
So first of all, when I used the model, it was a friend of mine, was a Caucasian woman, and she would model for me. And I lived in that when I worked with her, I lived in Portland, Oregon, and then I made the move to New York City, and here I was in New York City, and I didn't know anybody. I was all by myself. I didn't have friends, I didn't have contacts, and I wanted to put a pattern out. So there was no option for me but to be the model. But reluctantly, I became the model because I was like, who's going to buy it? Nobody wants to see me. But this is how we are conditioned, right? This is how we are conditioned. Who wants to see me? They want to see a beautiful blonde lady. Nobody wants to see me. But so I had to really step into it, and I had to really do it. And also I had to tell myself, no, I'm beautiful. I am beautiful, and it's okay for me to be the model, although I don't see models that look like me in the yarn world. It's okay for me to put myself out there, but at times it wasn't easy. At times, I still had to believe that who wants to buy something when I wear it? Because we're conditioned like that. We're conditioned like that. And I had to really overcome that. And still I'm like, but it's getting better. It's getting better. And you and me had this conversation before we came on live that we need to show up for each other. However scary it is, we need to show up for us so that we encourage others to do the same. I've had conversations with people that are like, I don't put my face on there. I just only put my work on there, and you can see my hands, but I don't want to be with my face, visible with my face. And I always say to people, you gotta be visible with your face, with who you are. You gotta show yourself. I want to see you.
No,
I
you
want
make
to
me
see you. I
teary
have
eyed.
a yeah, I have a craving. I have a craving to see you for who you are, and I need to see you. I need to see you so that I can also identify, because we need to identify, and we need to tell each other we are beautiful. We are beautiful, and we can be the model, and we can show who we are, and we can be proud of who we are and the way we look. Although we see that we are not represented, we don't need them. We can
You're
represent ourselves.
absolutely correct. And that's
Yeah.
another reason why I started so late and bringing my stuff out and
Mm-hmm.
putting it out and taking pictures. And I held back on the YouTube 3 years because I used to teach what I do, graph painting, and I would never show my face. I would never show my face. I would never um, make clothes for myself. I would make clothes for somebody else so that they could wear it and they could take pictures. And what you're saying is 120% true. And not only is it
Mm-hmm.
true,
Mm-hmm.
it's the reason why I did this podcast. I did this podcast because I want people to understand behind all of the pretty pictures we put on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. All those pretty pictures that we're putting out is something going on inside, and I want them to understand that they could do it too. They can also do the same
Yes.
exact thing. And don't hold off on your
Yes.
dreams because you feel that you're not right, you're not perfect. Like, I'm gonna share this because you brought
Yeah.
up something. So I never wanted to do YouTube at all because you have to show your face. So what I did was I would
Mm-hmm.
privatize all my videos, or I would have the videos facing down, or what I would do is I would
Mm-hmm.
record it and put like a blob on my face. So all my old videos
Oh. Mm-hmm.
have a blob on my face. And it wasn't because of my actual,
Mm.
it was because my teeth was always messed up. So when I had
Mm.
breast cancer. I had breast cancer when I was 25. And when I had breast cancer, they gave
Mm.
me extreme amount of chemo. So the chemo that they gave me caused my bones to deteriorate. And you know, when your bones deteriorate, your
Mm.
mouth, your gums, and you have all of that problem. So I was very apprehensive about going out, about talking, about speaking. And I am just so creative and I'm always like going out and doing stuff, but it stopped.
Yeah.
It all stopped when I started having problems with my mouth. And then my hair texture is way different
Mm-hmm.
than it was before because of course all my hair came out. So when it grew back a different
Mm-hmm.
texture. So when you was talking,
Mm.
that's why I was like, right before we even went live, I was like, oh my gosh, I already know it. I already know it. I never spoke about my teeth. I never spoke about that part that I always did. I never spoke about that part. I
Yeah.
spoke about a lot of things on my podcast, but that's one thing I never did.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I assumed, or I am it's a condition that it was okay for me
Yeah.
to do that back then because everybody else was doing it. I saw more Caucasians, I saw more
Mm-hmm.
light people, and I'm thinking, well, that's not me, so nobody's not going to watch me. So what you're saying is
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
120% correct, and I'm glad you came out of your
Mm-hmm.
shell, and I'm glad you're out here and you're helping others, showing others, creating, bringing your beautiful work out. And you still say that you get nervous, but I see your
Oh yeah.
work, your videos. Like, I'm thinking you're like a natural. You're like, you might as well get a job acting or something because you're acting right now. It is no way possible. You're unnervous. It's no way.
Yeah, I still am nervous, and but the more you do it, and also when I talk about the yarn, and then when I talk about the creativity, and when I think about how I can help others to be creative too, and to find their creativity too, then I forget. Then I forget that I'm nervous, and I just keep on going and keep on going. So, yeah, so I just want everybody to know that although I may appear like I'm not nervous, I am nervous.
Mhm.
I am definitely nervous. And when I put out a pattern, you know, I would always say to myself, I don't know why. I really don't know why people are interested. It still blows my mind. And then I did this workshop. I did this workshop with Dr. Frantonia Pollins. She is also on Instagram as Dr. Frentonia.
Yeah.
And we did this workshop called Imposter Syndrome. And then
Okay.
she said to us, the work that we do is valuable and the work that we do is beautiful. And don't diminish your work by saying, I don't know why people like my work. Like, why? You know, it blows my mind. And then Dr. Frantonia was like, people like your work because your work is beautiful.
Mhm.
And you can't see yourself that your work is beautiful. And why is that? It's something deeper. It's
Mhm.
something deeper. It's something that we've been taught that we don't count. The stuff that we do don't count. The stuff that we do is not seen and it's not worthy to be seen. So it goes deep. That thing goes deep.
Yeah.
And so we have to reach deep, and we have to say to ourselves, our work is beautiful, our work is valuable, and I put out this work and it will attract other people because I make beautiful projects. I do beautiful projects and others see my value and they will flock to you. Because let me tell you this, I heard about you. I heard about you to Laverne, Miss Laverne, Busy Peach. And I was in a Zoom meeting, and Kimora was in the Zoom meeting, and she was crocheting an Afghan, and I was like, "What are you crocheting? You know, who like, did you make the pattern?" And she's like, "No, no, this is Shanna makes a pattern. She does Graphgans." And I was like, "I heard about her before. I think I heard about her before from Miss Laverne. So the way you heard about me, I heard about you. So see what happens when you put your work out there and your work is good. People are going to talk about you. People are going to talk about you positively, and people are going to buy your work, be attracted to your work, and they're going to make your project. And it's something that you put out in the world. It came from your brain. It came from your inside, and you brought it outside, and other people were attracted to it. So yeah, so I want to say to people who are thinking about putting their work out there, put it out there. And I know it's scary. And I know you say to yourself, my work is not good enough, or I'm not one of those um I'm not one of the cool people. You gotta tell that voice, stop talking. And my work is beautiful, and I'm gonna put it out there. So I want to encourage you. If you have something that you want to put out there, put it out there. Put it out there and do it while you're afraid. Do it
Just do it
afraid.
while you're
Do it
afraid.
afraid.
Just
Yeah.
step out
Do
and
it.
just
Do it
do
where,
it. Just do it.
yeah, just do it because I can tell you, don't be afraid, but you will always feel it. It is always there. Just do it despite that feeling.
I think my thing. So I am a little different when it comes to that. I'm a cocky. I'm very cocky when it comes to my work.
Oh,
I'm
great.
very,
Good.
very, very cocky. Like sometimes I toot my
Good.
own horn, and I don't care what else anybody else thinks. The thing about it is what it's I guess I balance myself out because even though I'm cocky about my work, I'm not cocky about me. So I am trying to, I don't know if it makes sense. My work, my
It makes it.
creativity is way over. Like I know I'm good and
Mhm.
I know my work is good and I know I can help
Mhm.
others same thing.
Mhm.
But when it comes to
Mhm.
me,
Mhm.
I'd rather do my work on
Yes.
for others. I'd rather other people do it for me.
Mhm.
I'd rather if I'm gonna I
Mhm.
stopped the clothes. I don't want to do no clothes at all whatsoever because I feel like it's not enough yarn to put around me or it's not gonna look good on me or the color is gonna look awful. And I'm always saying stuff like that. Other than that, I know I can make it and I know I can make it look great.
Yes.
I just couldn't make it for for me.
Yes.
I always make it for other people. And that's my issue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to overcome it. I
Mm-hmm.
made one outfit for myself, and that was in May or June. I made a outfit for myself,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my picture on my Instagram, my profile picture. And that
Yes.
was the first outfit I
Yes.
ever made for myself, and I was so excited, so happy. And then I said, I'm never doing that again.
Oh,
I said,
why
I'm not
not?
doing it. Dude, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So I'm a little different when it comes to that part. Like I don't mind doing my work, and I know my work is good, and I know it's worth it. I just don't think I am, which is crazy. It's really crazy how
So
I
so
think
you don't
about it.
think you're worth it to make it
I
for
don't
you?
think that me. I It took me a long time to start putting my face out and to start
Yes.
talking. I don't like my voice. I don't like some of the stuff that come out. And then I'm like, well, nobody's not gonna like my attitude because sometimes my attitude is too cocky, or nobody's not gonna like because I'm a little rough around the edges sometimes, or I'm very brutally honest when it comes to certain things.
Yes.
If you show me something, I'm gonna tell you, you need a little help. But I'm good for constructive criticism. I don't just criticize.
Yes.
I don't do that. I'm good at
Mm-hmm.
constructive. I'm not gonna put you down. That I wouldn't do.
Mm-mm.
But I am gonna be brutally honest, especially if you ask. I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna do it.
Yes. Yes.
But and that's the part that I feel I shut down. I shut down because I am really. Some people don't understand me. Some people don't understand, and I could say something, and it could be from my heart, and I could be doing it to help, but someone may take it as she's talking bad about me, or she's doing something, and
Mm-hmm.
that's personally. So I bring it out, and that's why sometimes I kind of stop myself from saying certain things. I don't know.
Well, you can only the only person you can be is you, and your sincerity. You're putting yourself out there now here on YouTube, and also on the podcast. You have many avenues where you go down and where you put yourself out there. And I can tell you this much: people will sniff you out if you're not yourself. So the
Hmm.
only thing you can be is to be sincere and to be yourself, and people will be attracted to you. The more you are yourself, people will be attracted to you. And you can't be anything but yourself. So if you are brutally honest, the right persons are going to be attracted to you. The ones that don't want to hear the truth, they're going to shy away from you. But the ones that are like, I like her because she's honest. When I talk to her, I know where I stand. There's no there's no beating around the bush. You get exactly what you need to hear. So you will attract your people. So all I can say to you is bring yourself out there more,
Bring it
yourself,
on, right?
because there's only bring it on. Yes, bring it on, because you will attract the right people. You will attract the right people. And you know who are also, and I keep on saying it, the women that I respect, I have really so much respect for them, and they are brutally honest. That those are Aniqua Wilkerson from My Kind of Thing, Yolanda from My Pretty Brown Doll, and LaShonda from the Christian Crochet Addict. They have taught me a lot. They have taught me, like, be yourself, and if you have something to say it. They taught me that. Say it. Be yourself. There's only one way you can be, and be yourself, and people will sniff you out if you're not yourself. So I say bring it.
Wow, I wanted to ask Yolanda to come on here, and I was thinking of asking the Lashonda, because Lashonda I actually know, I think she graphed as well. So I was thinking of asking them, but now that you telling me about them, I'm really
Oh
gonna
yes.
like look forward now. I think that'd be
Yes,
great
yes,
to have them here. Maybe I could have them all
definitely.
time. Maybe if I could get that, it could be a
Oh,
panel of just us four.
yes,
I
and
go ahead.
they speak the truth. They speak the truth, and they not only do they speak the truth, they are brutally honest. Yolanda, I had this conversation with Yolanda, and Yolanda made me cry because Yolanda hit she hit it. She hit it. She was like, Nancy, I see you do your video tutorials, but you do it for free, Nancy. You do everything for free. You know, what's that all about? What's that all? She is like talking about brutally honest, and she hit it. She hit it right. She hit it just right, and she just hit it just on my insecurity that I don't think I'm good enough. That I don't think that my video tutorials are worthy enough for people to actually pay for them. And so yeah. So when I need people to be very honest with me, because honesty will shed a light on things that you are insecure about, or things that you can improve on yourself. So yeah, if you can get them on, it's going to be good.
As
It's going
soon
to be
as we
good.
finish, I'm gonna send them a message. So if somebody else know them,
Oh
let them
yeah.
know I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm always like
Oh
looking
yes. Oh
for
yeah.
those who are impacted for the community and to help others
Yes. Yeah.
learn. I don't care who
Yes.
you are, your
Yes.
color, black, white. I don't care if you're purple. If you can give me and those who are watching information to help us grow, whether we're doing it in the
Yes.
fiber artist
Yeah.
land or in our personal, I would love for you to have a seat at my table. And I would love for you to come on here and
Yes.
explain and tell me. And I don't want to because I think someone watched my videos and she said that I'm brutally honest and she didn't want to feel like she was going to be interrogated. And I'm like, I never interrogated anyone on here, but then I thought about it like maybe she's just not meant to be on here because she was giving me so many different
Exactly.
excuses. And I'm like, but I've never
Yeah.
interrogated anyone. And she said that
Hmm.
she saw that it was one thing I did. And I'm like, out of every single thing I've done, you found the one thing that you you feel that I'm
Yeah.
not
So then
a personal person.
yeah, the person wasn't ready. The person just wasn't ready, you know.
She wasn't
And
she couldn't have been ready. I'm
and that's
like, wait, why?
and that's okay too, because this is what I learned from Yolanda too. You're not going to be for everybody, and everybody is not going to be for you. So the people that want to be in your presence, and the people that are secure enough to be in your presence, they will show up. They will show up. They will show
And
up.
they do. Those who are ready, those who want, they do. They definitely do. And I said from the very beginning in my podcast, if it's only two people who listen to my podcast, I'm going to keep doing it for those two people because
Yeah.
I wasn't really doing this for fame or anything like that. I was doing it to help all of the background that I've
Yeah.
went through and stuff. I needed to explain it to people.
And so this is also how it's important to know your why. Why are you doing this? What is your purpose? And your purpose is to help others, and to give information, and to help your community grow. And if you know your purpose, then it'll get you out of bed. It will wake you up, because you have a purpose. You have something that you need to work on. And
Hmm.
so I really think it's absolutely fantastic what you're doing. Like, you are my example that I could be doing this too, because I didn't want to go on YouTube because I'm too afraid to go on YouTube. And here you are,
Oh,
you have StreamYard, You have
Yeah.
StreamYard and you have all these platforms, and I'm like, wow, look at her. She's doing it. She's doing it. And I'm just on Instagram, but I can put myself out there too. So you
Yes.
are already like influencing me and like, giving me encouragement that I could do something like this too.
You should. I think that would
So
be
yeah.
excellent. It gives you another form of income as well. It's really
Oh, good. Yes.
good. Yeah, it's a great thing, and it's something I love. And um I didn't want to just talk about myself. So that's why I started asking other
Mm-hmm.
people. Because I got tired of just talking about myself, and I got tired of explaining all the bad stuff that happened to me. And I just thought it would be best if other people spoke about how they came out, and it helps. Me listening to you,
Yes.
it can help somebody else who was
Mm-hmm.
scared and nervous and didn't want to bring out. And then now, they might next week decide they want to do a pattern and
Yes.
wear it and take pictures with it.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still want
Definitely. And but you see, I just love how we show up for each other and how we are there for each other, that we put ourselves out there. Miss Laverne does it too, Busy Peach. Every week she has somebody else on her Saturday morning shenanigans. And it's
Yep.
always encouraging. It's always
Mhm.
encouraging, and it's always um, stories that makers in our industry the stories that we tell each other, the stories that we encourage each other with, and we speak strength into each other. So I just love it that you asked me, and also this way we help each other. That's really, I keep on coming back to the same thing, but we need to help each other by showing up and encouraging each other by putting ourselves out there.
I It's one other thing that I had wanted to mention. You mentioned Laverne, Miss
Yes.
Busy Peach, right?
Maybe.
So when
Yes.
I
Yeah.
saw Miss Busy Peach, I think that I thought of her as being just one classy, creative lady. Very classy, very creative,
Yes.
and I look up
Yes.
to her. Now, now,
Yes.
I got kind of I don't know the right word, hesitant maybe when it came down to my podcast. I got kind of hesitant because I saw how her morning shenanigans, which was just something they did, her and Kim did on the side, and I got kind of nervous because I hear how she spoke and how she has fun with it, but she's very classy. I, on the other
Yes.
hand, I'm very different. I cuss. I do some things and say some things that people be like, "What did she just say?" But I also know how to speak. I did come from a good family now, so I do know how to speak. But I just saw
Yes.
like the classiness in her, and she's still able to have fun and still able to talk, and you're able to like smile, laugh, but still get great information from her. Whereas
Yes.
I do it from a different point of view. So I was kind of apprehensive at first, but then someone told me, Shauna, just do it because people will love it and people will
Yes.
listen. And you're not Laverne, you are Shauna. Stop trying to. I'm thinking I
Yeah, you
have
are
to
Shauna.
type of etiquette. I'm thinking it has to be a certain type of etiquette. I don't want my mom to look at this and yell at me. Like, so my mind was going in so many different ways. And then I'm like, I am about to be 43 years old. If you are still thinking of what your mother is going to
Yes.
say, then that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
So
thank
this
you for
so
saying
this
what you're saying because now I
yeah.
know I'm okay. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not bad.
No, no, and also, like, let me tell you, one of my marketing people that I look up to, his name is Gary Vaynerchuk, and he cusses all the
Yeah,
time, all the time. You know,
I like him then.
he says the F word. He says the F word. He says the S word. Everything,
I
everything.
like him.
And I love him. I love him. He's been my marketing guru for the longest, And he was explaining one time that he could censor himself, and he could not say those words, but that wouldn't be his energy. You
Yep.
gotta be you gotta be who you are.
Yep.
So if you're a certain type, then that's the energy that you bring, and people will come to you. And sometimes people say to me, "Oh, it's Nancy is here, so I better not cuss." Yet I cuss.
You do.
I I cuss. You ask my husband. Ask
Yeah.
my husband. So I just want to tell you, you got to be who you got to be. You got to bring that energy, and if you want to cuss, you cuss, because this is how you bring your message across. I love Gary Vaynerchuk, and I would be like, if he wouldn't cuss, I would be like, that's not Gary. I'd be out.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, bring your energy, bring that energy, and yeah, just be your genuine self. Be your
Be
genuine self.
myself and don't care about, because
Yeah,
that my mom and they always tell you, you got to be careful what you say and how you say it, and don't put this in public, and don't do this, and don't. And I'm kind of sort of doing the opposite on here. Like
yeah,
I
that's good.
know.
Do the opposite. Do the opposite. Do the opposite. Also, this is what I want to tell you.
Mhm.
Before, I would never talk about my background. I never talk about my background. I would never talk about, oh, I'm from the Caribbean. I was born in South America, or I would never talk about my background at all, or where I grew up. I grew up in an immigration neighborhood in the Netherlands. All the immigrants would live in a certain part of the Netherlands, and when I was a little girl, I loved living there. Everybody was from everywhere. It was a very loving neighborhood. I loved my neighborhood, but then I became a teenager, and I had to go to school in the inner city of Amsterdam, and there was this really affluent high end school. The children were like um, children from their father was a doctor or a dentist, and I would
Mhm.
go to this school, and then people would be like, where do you live? And I would tell where I was from, and people were like, you're from there? You're from that dangerous neighborhood? So I learned really fast not to talk where I live, right? You learn really fast not to talk about where you live, in what neighborhood you grew up in. So I kind of like pushed everything down. I pushed everything down. And and so another example is, do you eat oxtail? Do you eat oxtail?
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Yep.
so this is I we eat oxtail too. Oxtail and chicken feet. My
Okay.
family eats pig's feet, chicken feet. And I would never talk about it because I was taught, don't talk about that, because that stuff is like, it's kind of like, you don't talk about it. And last summer, I was in Brooklyn, and there were some knitters. They were talking about oxtail. And I jumped in and I said, oh, I love oxtail. And they were like, Nancy, what do you know about oxtail? What do you know about
I
oxtail? And I was
know,
like, oh my
right?
God, what do I know about oxtail? I grew up with oxtail. And then I was like, but I don't show it. I don't talk about it. I don't talk about it on social media.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
talk about that my family eats
I would
oxtail.
never
And I don't
know.
talk
Yeah.
about, you would never know. And then I was like, why don't why don't I talk about it? Why is it that I don't talk about that? Why is it that I don't show that? Because I was taught really early on, not to talk about it because people are going to look down on you, right? That's what I was taught. And I was like, I don't want that anymore. I want to talk about I eat oxtail. My family eats oxtail, you know, and I don't. So I want to. I want to show that. I want to show that more, and I want to talk about these things that I grew up with, and the neighborhood that I'm from, because I just would never talk about it because I would portray myself as not from that, but I am from there, so I need to talk about it. So when you speak about that you want to like, suppress certain things, that you're like, I don't know if I should be like that,
Yeah.
maybe people will perceive me this or that. I have the same thing. I have the same thing. And this year I'm like, no, I'm just going to talk about more who I am and where I'm from, and just be more myself, show up with my true self. And
Right.
so yeah, so when you started to talk about that, it kind of I resonate with that. I resonate with that.
Aw. Aw. I want to talk about your shirt and your earrings. Did you make that?
Oh, so my earrings are by Designs by Jasmine.
Okay.
Designs by Jasmine. She's on Instagram. She's from New York City, and I saw her a few years ago during a yarn crawl, and she was wearing beautiful earrings, but I was too shy to go up to her and to ask her, And
Not me.
I was like, she's gonna be like, who's this Asian lady like asking me all these questions? and then uh, and then I and then I saw her again at Knitting in the Park, and I was working for Knitty City, a yarn shop at the time. I was taking pictures of people. So I was like, can I take your picture? I'm with Knitty City. I'm not a stalker or anything. I'm just gonna take your picture. And
Aw.
so I took a picture of her wearing the earrings. And then years later, she jumped on Jasmine jumped on this knit along that I did for my Shelly summer top. And there was a mistake in the pattern, and she contacted me and she said, I just wanted to ask you, is this a mistake or whatever? And she was so polite, and she was so she approached me very, very like gingerly, like, she was so sweet about it. And I said to her, I took a picture of you years ago with your earrings. And then I started to talk about her earrings. And I was like, I hope one day that I can order some earrings from you. And I did. So I love my earrings by Yasmin. But see how
Aw.
we are like we're like intimidated to approach people. And then
Mhm.
when I met her in real life, and I sat next to her, it was at a knitting event, and I started talking to her. She said to her friend, is Nancy talking to me? Is she talking to me? She even knows who I am. So both of us were like, oh my god, it's so funny how
Yeah.
that works. It's funny how it
Yes.
works. So that's Yasmin, designs by Yasmin. I really love her stuff. And this is a pattern that I wrote over 10 years ago, and I didn't think anybody would be interested in making this pattern. This is called the Lazy Sunday State of Mind sweater, and I love the shoulder action.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
her
yeah.
off the shoulder thing, and I didn't. I wrote it 10 years ago, and I didn't think anybody would be interested. And then one time, I was at a yarn shop, and I bought a bag, and I asked the yarn shop owner, "Can you take a picture of me holding up the bag?" So she took a picture of me holding up the bag, and then I posted it on Instagram. Nobody was interested in the bag. Everybody was interested in the sweater that I was wearing, and I was like, "What? You guys are interested in this sweater?" And 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 because everybody was interested, I put it out there. It's called the Lazy Sunday State of Mind sweater, and I have a video
Lazy
tutorial on how to
Sunday.
make it. Um, Lazy Sunday State of Mind sweater. And I also have a video tutorial on my IGTV series. if you're not a knitter, but you're thinking about, making something knitted, then you can see step by step how it's done. And once you see it, you're going to be like, I can do that. I can do that.
Do you have any crochet patterns?
So I want to show you. I want to show you something. I do crochet, but I've never put out a crochet pattern. And I do have to say, I love a granny square. I do love a granny square, and I made this, and I figured out how to make it, but I don't know how to write a crochet pattern, and I would really love to learn how to write a crochet pattern. And I hear sometimes crocheters, they're like, "Oh, please stop with the granny squares." I love granny squares. I love granny squares.
I
Like
don't see
this
anything
also
wrong with
here.
them.
No, I love granny squares. And I love how with crochet how you can play with color.
Yeah,
So
that's
this one, and
pretty.
also I oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I love how to play with colors with crochet, which you can also play with colors in knitting, but not in the way you play with
Right.
colors with crochet.
I'm
There's
learning.
something with the color, yeah, with the color combinations, and I love it. There's something I can do with crochet. And what I also love to do with crochet, I love to make little things. Like I make this cupcake. This cupcake is by Twinkie Chan, and then I found all these crochet flowers, and I put it on a headband, so I have like a fascinator.
Oh
I have a
wow.
fascinator cover. So
So
I love
cute.
I love making. Yes, I love crocheting little things like that. But
Yeah.
I haven't put out a crochet pattern yet, but I would love to. I would love to learn how to write a crochet pattern and put out a crochet pattern, and also how to mix crochet and knitting with each other. And um and because I love both knitting and crochet, I love it both very much. Yeah.
You know who's going to help me with crochet patterns?
Who?
Laverne, Miss Busy Peach.
Oh,
She's
Miss
coming on
Laverne, Miss
here
Busy
next
Peach.
week. Yeah, she's coming on here next week. And guess what we're going to talk about? Crochet patterns.
Crochet patterns. Oh, I should talk to Miss Laverne.
Yes.
I always wanted to ask. I'm going to ask Miss Laverne if I can make an appearance on her Saturday morning shenanigans, because I always enjoy watching the people that she has on. So I was gonna contact Miss Laverne too.
Yeah, that's
Let
what
me
I
tell you
did.
this about Miss.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me tell you about Miss Laverne. She was following me, and she would always leave me a very nice comment, and I knew about her, and I saw she had organized something in Atlanta one time, a get together with makers. But I did not know that she um, dyed her own yarn. I didn't know. And then when I did a knit along, the Shelly Summer Top, one of the women had made the Shelly Summer Top in her yarn. And I was like, wait a minute, this name sounds very familiar. I know this name. So finally, I made the connection. I was like, this is Miss Laverne. I didn't know Miss Laverne dyed her own yarn. And she wouldn't say anything about that. When she would comment on the stuff that I did, she would never say, hey, I want to let you know that I dye my own yarn. She would never say that. It's so humble, so humble. So once I found out that she dyed her own yarn, I was like, I gotta get me some yarn by Miss Laverne. So I
Mm-hmm.
made a top out of her yarn. Yes, made a top out of her yarn.
Oh,
So
you
yeah,
did?
I love I love people like that. They're so
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, I don't know. It's very classy, like you said. There's a certain class.
Very
There's a certain
classy.
class
I'm going
about
to tell
her.
you
Yes. Yeah,
how
very
I met
classy.
Miss Peachy. And this is why I say she's very classy. This is how I met Miss Peachy. During this pandemic, I was doing a crochet mask. And when I did the crochet mask, I did not want to do the mask at all because I felt like it was politics, and a lot of people wouldn't want to wear the crochet mask because it may not be safe.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to find something that people can use to cover up maybe the regular mask. But I wanted it unique. I didn't want just regular square or rectangle. That's what a lot of people were doing. And I saw hers. I purchased it. I made it. But I'm a graphic.
Mhm.
I like pictures. I like
Mhm.
images. I like words.
Yes.
So I
Mhm.
kind of tweaked it. So I used her pattern, but I couldn't use her pattern. Kind of sort of what you did with the heart. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
when I did that, I had put a bunch of pictures. I had like a little African American woman. I had a heart. I had a couple
Yes.
of things that I did with my mask. And I started posting it. Apparently, she saw it. I never said the pattern was hers. Someone said, "Do you
Uh-huh.
have a pattern for it?" I said, "No," because I didn't have a pattern for the African American lady. She wanted the
Yes.
pattern for the African American lady, and I'm like, "No, I don't.
Right.
I I didn't even know how I was
Yeah.
gonna write that." And so she sent me a message. She
Yes.
was like, "I love what you did to the mask. I love it. I love
Yes.
what you did. It's so creative. Can you just do me one favor?" And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Who's this lady? Like, why is thank you." She said, "Can you just give
Yes.
me a little credit for it?" And I'm like,
Oh, yes.
"Credit? What?" And I didn't put two and two together because I'm thinking it was someone
Yes.
else. I didn't know she was talking about the mask.
Mhm.
And when I saw her name again and I put it together, like, oh, okay. She
Yeah,
was
it's
so
her.
happy
Yeah.
about it. And that's
Yes.
all she said was basically, "Can you just give me a little credit?" And I
Yes.
said,
Yeah.
I can put that it was inspired by you. And then
Mhm.
the one that I
Mhm.
actually did make that was straight her pattern, I said, "This is her pattern. So if anyone wants to buy the pattern and figure out their stuff, they could do that." But I didn't want to rewrite it. I didn't want to take away from her. She needed all her coins. So I didn't want to do
Mhm.
that. So because I was at one point gonna do a pattern and write it out. Said no. I figured it out, let other people figure it out. I didn't want to take from hers. If I
Yes.
wanted to do it, I'll make up my own. But I really didn't want to do that because it wasn't something that I wanted to do at all. I was literally
Mhm.
just doing it for like two or three people who asked if I can make it so they could cover their regular mask. It wasn't something I wanted to make
Right.
money off of or anything. It was just something I was just doing. So that's how I met Miss Peachy. And we still cool to this
Yes.
day.
Very. Yes. Yes. Very classy lady. Very classy lady. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So you have anything that you're coming out with? Any new patterns or what's going on?
I have. Yeah. Yeah. I. In February, I would like to issue another pattern, which I wrote again so many years ago, maybe 10 years ago. I was doing my spinning videos, and in one spinning video, I wore it. And really, the video was about spinning. It was not about the thing I was wearing, but everybody was asking me, "What are you
Yeah.
wearing?" I was like, "What? This thing? I wrote it so long ago. You guys are interested in this thing?" And I said to myself, "Stop that, Nancy. You got to stop that. You got to really stop like putting yourself down like that." And so people asked me about it, and I'm gonna issue it in February. What I also am going to do, inspired by Yolanda, and I had a you can book business consults with Yolanda. So I booked a business consult with her. I booked many business consults with her, and I booked one in January to talk about workshops. So I'm going to put out workshops where I have video tutorials, and people pay me.
Yes,
People pay me,
absolutely.
and so that's what I'm working on as well. I want to launch my workshop in March, so I'm going to work on it in February, And I have really good conversation with Yolanda. She's like, Nancy, what you put out there is valuable, and you should get your coin for it. So yeah, I'm gonna get my coin for my workshops.
Yes,
And
get your
what
coin.
else? And what else? Oh yes, in the next coming months, I'm going to make a lot of flowers. I'm going to make a lot of flowers out of mohair because I want to make a jacket for my friend, for Miss Lily. Miss Lily is from YB Limited, and Miss Lily is a model. She's a black trans model,
Yeah.
and I want to make a jacket. I want to make a jacket for her with all flowers. The whole jacket consists of
Oh,
flowers everywhere. So in order for
okay.
me to make that jacket, I need to make a lot of flowers. So I'm going to start making my flowers in February, all the way up into March, and so that I can create something for Miss Lily to wear because she'll be able to pull it off.
Yeah, and she's a fiber artist or just a model.
She's a model. She's a model. She's also a makeup artist, and
Oh,
she also has her makeup line. Yes, I will tag you on her feed. She's
yeah.
fantastic. She's also she's somebody I really look up to. The way she holds herself, the way she is in life, and her positivity and her belief in herself. It's like I really look up to women like that. And she
Hmm.
exudes positivity, and she also helps others to be their true self. Yeah, to be that genuine self and not to hide. So that's what
Oh,
I'm up to.
oh. Do you do other like? Do you do have this setting like interviews with other fiber artists on your page or other people on your page on your Instagram?
So I did in last summer for 2 months. I interviewed people. Yolanda was one of them. Miss Lily was also one of them. I did it for 2 months, and then I stopped doing it because I have really bad internet connection. I would do a live Instagram, but now that I see this, now that I see this setup, I'm like, I need to look into this, how to do
Mm-hmm.
this. So you inspire me to find other
Yay.
ways to do it, and to kind of step away from Instagram and also do it on YouTube, because this is fantastic and this is live
Yes.
streaming.
Yeah.
This
I
is
love
like wow. I'm
this.
like
I love to do like I said, I don't like the word interview, but I love to chat. Love to chat with other
yes,
people. And
yeah.
this setting is so easy. It's an easy setup. All I do is send you the link, and it's oh my
Yeah,
gosh, it makes it so easy. And that's how I'm able to keep
it's
going more and more. Yeah.
yeah, it's fantastic. It's really fantastic. And not one time did I was there a bad connection.
You can um see it's a way you can connect Instagram with YouTube, but I don't really like to do that. And I'm not really big on Instagram. I'm not an Instagram person. I post on Instagram, but I'm not an Instagram person. So, being that you have a lot of followers, maybe you can connect them together. I can try to help you with that. I think that'll work. Um, because it's hard to get people who are on Instagram to come on the YouTube. You got to keep pushing
Mm-hmm.
people
Yeah,
to go over
yes.
to YouTube. But it's
Yes.
definitely ways you can
Yes.
do it.
Yes, I will definitely look into that. So thanks for the inspiration, because this is fantastic.
Absolutely. And you inspired me now. Like I don't want to make myself clothes and I don't want to wear them, but I think I will make myself another outfit and I will wear it.
Yes, make yourself another outfit. I would love to see it. I'd love to see it because We're so worth it. Yes, we're so worth it. Sometimes we just forget ourselves, but we are so worth it. And so in February, so my theme for January was finding my joy again, because I had lost my joy at the end of 2020. I'd lost my joy. So the theme of February was finding my joy again and stepping into my joy again. And the theme for February will be love, but self love, self
Self-love.
love, and self love, and speaking strength into yourself, speaking love into yourself, in every cell of your body, speaking love into yourself, and put yourself first. Put yourself first. So make that outfit. Make that
I'm
outfit.
gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make the outfit, and I'm gonna look good when I make the outfit. And I'm gonna learn
Yes.
how to knit. I know how to do basic, but I don't know how to do like shirts. And I think it's so beautiful. I think knit is amazing. I just I
Mm-hmm.
want instant gratification. I think that's what crocheters want. Crocheters want instant
It's
gratification.
fast. It's
Right.
fast. Crochet is way faster. It's way faster than knitting. Yeah, that I have to say. It's way faster than knitting.
Yeah, so that's my go-to thing is crochet. So my aunt taught me how to crochet and she taught me how to knit. So I just kept going more towards crochet because I was able to actually make
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Whereas knit, I'm still
Yes.
on like 20 rows and I'm taking it apart and doing it all over again. So I do know how to knit basic. I just I can make a long scarf, like maybe a 12-foot scarf, but I can't really do too much of anything else. But I do want to learn just so I can say I know and I learn and I know how to do it. Do you have basic
Yes,
class
yes.
for basic newcomers?
I don't have basic classes, but maybe I should do a basic class. And yeah, maybe I should do a basic class. And also, sometimes if you can knit a shawl, it's just a rectangle. Some of my patterns are just a rectangle. It's just a rectangle, and it's the
So
way you
that's why
fold it
everybody
that turns
say
it
that.
into a. Yes, yes, just easy. I do easy stuff.
Mhm.
I don't do intricate stuff. I don't do intricate stuff because there's already so much intricate stuff out there.
It is. And I'm always the one that goes straight to it. I don't know why, but my mind is always focused on the intricate stuff. I want to be able to make it because a graph gan, oh, that's intricate. A graph gan
That's
is
intricate. Yes, that's
yeah.
very
But I'm always that's
that's intricate.
my go-to thing. I'm always making a graph can. If someone say they need a order or they want to get an idea, I'm always thinking of graph can. I'm always thinking of ideas on how they could do a graph can. And it doesn't have to be a blanket. I'm always thinking of pillows or I'm thinking of hats. I'm thinking everything I could put a picture or something on it. I'm thinking of it.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah, I need to like
that's
move
your
on to
thing.
other things. Yeah, that's my niche. That's definitely my
That's
niche.
your
I
niche.
love
Yes.
I love it. But thank you so much for coming on here and spreading a little light on us and letting us know who you are behind the hook. I really do appreciate you. I'm gonna contact
And
Yolanda and see if they could come on here
please
and
do.
yeah.
Please do. Please do. And thank you for offering me a seat at your table. I'm very honored, and I'm very happy that we connected. And
Yeah,
let's keep in touch. Definitely keep in touch. Thank you
absolutely.
so much. Thank you so much, Hannah. Thank you so much. And also thank you for, like, you know, showing your vulnerability, for sharing what you went through, that you had breast cancer. And I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you showing up for the community, to show up for all of us, so we are encouraged to do the same, because you're
Oh.
speaking encouragement into us by showing up and by doing this. And please be yourself. If you want to cuss, you cuss. Be yourself.
Yes. Yes.
To yourself. Okay. So thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so much. All
you.
right.
I
Thank you.
appreciate
Let's keep in
you.
touch.
All right. So thank you
All
everybody
right.
for coming
All right.
on. And don't forget tomorrow I'm gonna have Mentor Monday, tomorrow 7 p.m. And I will see you there. Have a good night. Bye, sunshines.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.